Hi guys, Dakota Krout here. I'm super excited to be here, and I am on a lit RPG takeover. I think this is the first time I've come to this group, actually to any group, and taken it over. So that's really neat. Um, I guess I'm your admin now, at least for the next 30 to 45 minutes. So for anyone that is here to say hi, please definitely, please send a bunch of comments, send a bunch of questions. I'm much better in a AMA format, so ask me questions that you want to hear the answers to, and I am here for that. Otherwise, I'll just talk about cool stuff that's going on. So first cool thing is I have 6 books in 6 months that I'm putting out here, and it started last month with Tenacity, which is book 9 in the Completionist Chronicles series, and it's starting again next month. I think we're like a week and a half out, and that's going to be Thessarize, which is book 10 in Completionist Chronicles, followed by in I think it's like December 3rd or 6th. I'm not really sure. Is the 11th book in the Completionist Chronicles, putting us at the over the 50% mark for the whole series now, which is really cool. And hey, Shinhofen. And that one is called Thunderplump. Yes. So I can't say the name of that book without saying it with some gravitas because it is so fun. And it is really just a phenomenal book. And it ties up a lot of storylines so well, and it hopefully gives me some time to really dive into the rest of the series and write those super well. January, we start out with a brand new trilogy. It's a completed trilogy coming out January, February, and March, and we're doing that directly with Audible, which is really cool. And that's a new series that I wrote called Cooking with Disaster, and that's really fun. So first book is Grilled Armageddon. Second book is Sewer Skewers, and third book is Omelet Endgame, which is just lots of fun stuff. So hopefully you guys have a ton of stuff to read from me, and I hope you love it all. Obviously, I already have about 40 plus books on the market, and so if you're looking for something of mine, you can go and check them out right now, and hopefully love those as well. And so hi, so everyone here. So I see from Kaylin here. What was my favorite book to write so far? That's a really good question, man. So my favorite book to write, like ever, I would say is whatever book I'm working on right now, right? And that's just true my whole career. So I love every book that I'm writing. Like I really enjoy them. They're coming from whatever place I am at that time. So obviously all books are a product of the time that they're written in. And so I can look back and I'm like, man, like now I'm in this place where I love this book that I'm writing and that book way back when. I'm like, man, maybe I should have done that differently or whatever else. But at the time, man, I just love every single book I'm writing. I don't write books because I have to. I write books because I'm really enjoying them, which is a really cool thing. um, Daniel doesn't like what I did to dwarves. Sorry, Daniel. um, but so the war crime was intentional there. So it's man, it's you're supposed to become like non-humans are non-human. You're supposed to be coming from a different mentality, right? And yeah, so dwarves have a different society than humans, and that makes sense. So yeah, and I'm not ashamed. Nope. And I won't be, bro. Can't do it. George says, anyway, you've gamified your own life to motivate your seemingly incredible levels of writing output or fitness stuff. Hey, so you were on the last stream, so thank you for that, because I just came from the I Workout panel, which was a lot of fun. Really amazing, talented authors there with really great things to say. So I'm glad you were able to see what they had to say. Um, yeah, gamifying it, not so much. I really like what I do, so I I look at it in slightly different way than a lot of other people do. I perhaps when I come to write, I'm like, man, I get to go write. I get to go to my office and work on this stuff and put my thoughts down on paper and come up with cool new systems and cool new works. And then when I'm done working, I get to go and hang out with my family and do other cool things and get plenty of great sleep and eat good food. And then I've been injured before pretty badly, and so when I get up and I go work out, dude, it's because I get to go work out. Like I am like every day I wake up, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, I get to go and move things, and it's not going to hurt me terribly to do it. So like everything in my life, I'm so excited to do, which is kind of why my life is the way it is. Like I'm just excited about doing cool stuff. And so that's why I'm here, man. And yeah, so gamifying it, not so much. I'm just very I'm a very enthusiastic life liver, I guess. And yeah, so there we go. Um, I will say that I've taken most of this month off of writing. I only just started writing my next outline this week, current this last week here, and just taking some time and take some deep breaths, decompress from really hard, really hardcore work and other like hard business decisions and life decisions and things that I've had to do, and just kind of getting my head back in the game and kind of refocusing on why I do the things that I do. And it's really been a big positive for me, I think. So I'm really happy that I got to do that and that I'm in a position where I can do that. So I'm very excited about that. But yeah, so thanks, George. Like I don't have to do it, I get to do it. And it's true, dude. Like if you talk to anyone that's had severe injury or very serious illnesses and you're like, oh man, I had to go do this, and they come back and they're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. And you're like, it really does definitely change your mentality. Um, so yeah, so I for anyone who's wondering about Daniel Shinhofen's the amazing authors uh comments over here. He's saying, "Have you written nothing yet?" So no, 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 no. I wrote a completed trilogy called Full Murder Hobo, and it's something, anything, and everything. So the title of the book is something. So if you want something to read, definitely go and check something out. And then when you read something by Dakota Krout, you'll definitely end up reading anything by Dakota Krout, and eventually you'll read everything by Dakota Krout. It's just how it works. And Shinhofen is trying to goad me into writing a book called Nothing, and he said I think correct me if I'm wrong here. You said, "Dakota, then you could go and tell people that you've written nothing and still sold more copies than them." And I said, "That's not really my style," but it was funny, so I had to give him a shout out for that. So thanks, Shinhope, appreciate that. Yeah, guys. So I'm just living life and enjoying myself and doing cool things with other cool authors. Obviously, I'm still the owner and operator of Mountain Dale Press, and that's a really cool thing. We publish cultivation lit RPG and game lit titles, and we have quite a few amazing authors who come in and write awesome stuff. And I would say if you're looking for a place to start, come over to mountaindalepress.com. I'm sorry, mountaindalepress.store. Either one will get you where you want to go, but mountaindalepress.store is faster. And yeah, just check out our really cool authors and some of the books that we have coming out and coming up, and that's pretty neat. Obviously, I'm a prolific writer and I enjoy and love what I do, so you'll see a lot more titles from me coming up. Oh, thank you. Geneva's amazing. She's listening, making things happen. You must be so tired, Geneva. Oh my goodness. Like you've been doing this all day and you have it all weekend. So thank you so much for what you do for the genre as a whole doing this. Let's see here. If you're looking for a place to start outside of my own books while you're waiting for mine, if you want a big door stopper, if you just are like, I want to read and read and read and read forever, definitely go and check out Nikolai Ganella's books. He has the Unbound series, and it's just phenomenal. Um, and it is just kicking butt, and people are loving it. And so definitely go and do that. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Otherwise, Dennis Vanderkerken's always amazing, and again, go to the page and check out our authors. We've got a bunch of them, and they're probably very familiar to you. Let's see here. Ah, man, Lit RPG, man, this has been an amazing journey. Like eight-ish, nine-ish years now of writing for myself, and then 8, 9, or 10 for even the oldest writers in the American genre, really. So that's really cool, man. Like, look how far we've come. It's just quite a thing to see what has happened and what will happen. Just kind of imagining what's going to happen. So actually, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go over some of the changes that have happened in the lit RPG genre. Back when we first got going, there was like 10 of us total, and I consider myself second wave of authors, even because there was Elron, and then a bunch of other very talented authors at the same time that came out, and they worked together to create this place right here, this community of lit RPG, and make it into something that's been growing over the years, which is really neat. And I came in just after they were really up and going and spinning up, and started writing my own stuff. And it's been great because I've been able to have access to this great community and this great reader group, and I've seen it grow, and I've seen it expand so much with so many new authors and literally thousands of titles in the last 10 years, which is, well, I'm just gonna say 10 years for ease of access here. But yeah, just watching as thousands of books have come out over the last 10 years. I don't know of any other genre that has had such rapid growth and continued success as lit RPG, and it all started right here, which is really cool. And yeah, so the cool thing is everyone who creates a lit RPG book creates a new entry point into our genre, and the people that are smart about it realize that that is definitely for the good of our genre. And as we see more of our people get success, it will make more success for those of us that have been here, which is just the coolest thing. We don't have to worry about the genre getting saturated. We don't have to worry about you know whatever, because we can all support each other and push each other towards each other's books, to the point where this year of 2023, this was, I don't know if anyone else really knows this. Oh, hey, Richie. Yeah, cool. That's Floof in the background. Yeah. Hi, Dennis, in the background of Richie's picture there. Cool. So I don't know how many people know this, but this year, the Library Association gave us our own BISAC code, which is a library category code. So almost 10 years of work, and finally we've gotten to the point where the community at large cannot ignore our presence, and has given us our own set of categories, and like, we are an official genre as of this year only, right? We've all just called ourselves lit RPG, and dumped our stuff into like cyberpunk or whatever else, but now we have a home on Amazon because of the super hard work of all of these authors. And it's just amazing. And as the library has created that now, so has since Amazon pulls its structure from the library associations, that means that we have our own genre on Amazon because of that, right? And yeah, it's been amazing because we can go there and now just search our own genre, and find our people, and we can point people at that genre instead of having to point them at, go here, search out this specific author. Now we can just kind of get all of them at the same time. And yeah, man, it's just so amazing to watch how that has happened. And just because of the hard work and dedication of the people that hear, and the amazing readership that has stayed with us through all of this. So that's really cool. If people would start sending in some questions, that would be super cool. But I'm going to go with oh yeah, man, Floof is amazing. He's a spectacular dude. If we can go up to George's comment there. So thank you for the question, man. It's really appreciated. I'm about to start writing my own RPG series. I've never written anything. I've listened to 80 plus books this year. And wow. And I'm getting to the point where I'm looking for a book that isn't there. So I'm going to write it myself. Any tips on starting out, traps to avoid? Yeah, man. So first off, I would recommend start by writing a trilogy, write a completed series, because um, even with how many uh, amazing authors there are out there, how many books are in their genre, there are few completed series, right? I only have a couple of completed series myself, and I have 40 plus books, and so that is Full Murder Hobo and Divine Dungeon are both completed series. Completionist Chronicles has up to book 11 coming out this year, but it's planned to be 20 books long. And then the like my other series and other things that I'm doing, um yeah, man, I'm taking my own advice. I'm writing and putting out completed series because it is noticeable. And a lot of people, for one, don't start reading books until there's at least 3 of them, because they want to see if you have the commitment as an author to put out books at all. Like, if you put out one book, your book's probably just going to suffer. It's going to stagnate, and you're not going to have the confidence to put out book two. But if you do those three books and you really care and you complete that series, not only are you going to get people that don't come in until there are three books in a series, you're going to get a lot of people that don't come in unless there's a completed series. So it's actually they're different. They are different targeting, like it's different methods for targeting different groups, because some people won't read it unless it's done, and it's not surprising, but it's also it can make it difficult because you won't know if they will like your books until you finish the series. And so don't fall into the trap of I'm going to try one book and see if people like it, because that is a trap. And I really think that that way leads to the loss of enthusiasm for the craft. So just, if you're going to do it, man. Just go in and go hard and love what you do. So yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna scooch down. So that's the best advice I can give on that. Otherwise, right, man, right. Just find time and make it happen. Sit down, dedicate some time every day. And I do say time. I don't mean words, because if you dedicate your time to it and you really dedicate your time to it, the words will come. So just give yourself, even if it's like a half hour, hour long block, it's some words, dude. Some words. So, yeah. Okay. Um, Daniel said, Shinhofen said, how many books are coming this year? I missed it. Coming this coming year. So six of them. So I have from me right now. So that is six books in this current block of 6 months here. So October, November, December, January, February, and March. I have a book for sure coming out. They're either, like, the first one is out right now. The other ones are on pre-order on Amazon or Audible, depending. So yeah, so six for sure, and then hopefully by the end of that, by the end of March or into April, I'll have a slew of new books for you, because I'm writing a book every 4 to 6 weeks at my current pace. So I should have more than that soon. So yeah, it's exciting. Facebook user says, can you tell us a bit about cooking with chaos? No, I can't, but I can tell you about cooking with disaster. Yeah. Um, but I like that. I should have gone with that. That actually, like, it's alliterative. I don't, man, why does the good stuff always show up after I've already done the thing? But yeah, no, cooking with disaster is a great series. It's super fun. So it's set up as it's current Earth, where we get hit with the apocalypse, right? So we have a uh, outside entity that basically takes two planets and pits them against each other. And uh, the fun thing is that that's not the main storyline, really. It's kind of a underlying subplot until book three, really, because what it does is it fills the world with what's called putrid mana. And so every person gets all of their health and mana and all this all their fun stuff from the food that they eat. So if you want to heal, you need to eat food and have a full hunger bar, and then your health will regenerate faster. If you want to use, like, physical skills and combat abilities, you have to use your hunger bar, like a percentage of your hunger bar per attack or per use of your skills, in order to use them, really. And then same thing with mana, except, like, so if you're using spells, whatever else, it uses your thirst. So it's very much a starvation game. So hunger and thirst had to be really carefully managed, along with your combat ability. So that's that's one of the really fun things about the system, is how all of that is carefully managed. So most of the time it is planned as uh, man versus environment, instead of, like, player versus player. So because almost everything is trying to kill them, and I mean literally almost everything. So doesn't matter if it was grass at one point, now it is like evil grass, like, so you gotta watch where you step. And the main character is a regressor. So he had several years of experience in the game, as they call it the game, and it's reality. And then he got the option to come back and try again, but it was not because things were going well. It was because everything sucked and he died. And then he comes back with all these skills as like a super assassin and becomes a cook instead because he realizes how important the hunger and thirst bars are. Because, well, it's a little bit dark, but basically everyone had turned to cannibalism because they couldn't hunt the monsters anymore and they were too powerful. And it's a little darker than what I'd typically write, but it's also a ton of fun. And it's also really zany stuff. As one of my Reddit what flamer he is, I mean, one guy on Reddit said it really nicely. He said that my books were like magnificent Van Gogh paintings that someone let Looney Tunes characters run amok in. And he meant it as an insult, but I definitely took it as a compliment because those are definitely masters of their craft that were not appreciated in their time. And yeah, so that's kind of where I am. So I definitely talked to a lot of different cooks and did um, very carefully uh, walked through what I wanted it to be. But then I also made the character. I took a lot of the main character. I took a lot of inspiration from actually Dennis Vanderkerken. Um, who is we call him Floof. If anyone has ever had a conversation with him about cooking, his main point is he can't. He gets near food and it burns. And that's kind of the thing with this chef is that he makes food and it is edible, and that is typically the best thing that can be said of it. And it's just really fun how I get to have that interplay of combat and cooking and management of resources, all while knowing that I only have the constraint of 3 books to get the whole story across. So I had to be very careful and selective with what I chose to do. So that was a really fun thing to test out and to figure out the style that I wanted to make things in. So I do hope that you enjoy that when it comes out. So yeah. Let's see. So thank you for asking the question. Um, Richie says, Would you ever plan on revisiting the world of Murder Hobo? Not revisiting the main crew, but maybe like a spinoff." Absolutely, and that is something I do plan to do. Because I wrote that as a completed trilogy, and it took me 3 years, right? And so the next one I'm going to do a lot faster. I'll probably write all 3 books and then put them out. Because I'm really trying to stay ahead of the curve right now. And what I mean, the curve for me is like I would love to have a book at minimum every 3 months. Like that's actually out, like published and on the market for people. And right now I have 6 months to build up that backlog, which I'm really excited about. Um, yeah, and so it's yeah, I'm gonna try and keep ahead and keep really cool things, and definitely come over to my Patreon because we're multiple books ahead right now. If you want to do that, just patreon.com/Dakota Krout. Pretty easy. Um, but yeah, I think I'm like 5 books ahead of what I actually have published right now. That's actually out on my Patreon. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna start a Ream soon, I guess. And yeah, so just cool stuff. So yeah, I'll definitely be going back to the world of Murder Hobo, but not with the main character, kind of just like you said. Oh, thank you, Geneva. You're fantastic. Um, will Cooking with Disaster have the classic Dakota puns? Oh, absolutely. Come on now. Come on now. Let's see. George says, "Question: Got my secret lab chair. I don't play, but the art was cool. Looks like you have one. What did you choose and why?" Well, right here I have the Titan, and that's because I'm a big boy. Um, so it's very comfortable, good for my back, all that fun stuff. These 2 chairs over here, this one is a Titan, and then this one is not. Basically, the question is who's going to be sitting in and using them, and I regularly have another author here, and then my COO in the far corner over there. And so I made sure they had nice chairs and want to come and work here, and it's a nice, calm, and happy environment for everyone involved. So basically, they have specs on them, man. If you look. If you go onto their site, they'll say like, "Hey, here's some things you should consider. Like, how tall are you? Are you a bigger person? You know, whatever it is." And yeah, uh, pretty much for me, like just slap the button on Titan and didn't look back, and it's been pretty great. Let's see. Scott said, "Oh," Dana says, "Wait, I could come and write in the same room with you, dude, anytime." Yeah, absolutely, and it's cool because I do that. I live in Kansas City, Kansas, and so I actually, yeah, I invite authors over all the time to write. Quite a few of them for Mountaindale have actually relocated to Kansas City, and so they just come over and work. So like this right here, this laptop, that's Xander Boyce's because he was supposed to come here like every day and write, and it's like every other day. So he just leaves his laptop here to be like, I'll be there, I can do it. So yep, it's good. So Xander, Michael Head, they come around, and Carl Stubblefield, also a fantastic author. And then otherwise, just people that live in this area but aren't associated with my company. Like if they're gonna come over and we're gonna do business of any kind, like work or whatever else, I have a nice office for it, and we can write books, we can hang out, whatever it is. So yeah, it's great. And Shinhofen, anytime, bro. You just say you'll be in town, and you are definitely invited. Let's see. Scott says, as a publishing company, are you inundated? Wow. Hmm. There we go. Are you inundated with authors wanting their works published? Not so much. So about a year ago, we took down our submissions thing. So we are currently publishing at a very comfortable pace for us. As we talked about in the previous panel, it's like the comfortable plateau. Most of the time when I'm publishing other people, I'm doing it because I want to give them resources. I want to make sure that their stuff is getting the success that the series needs. But obviously, I'm a very prolific and happily love it. Thank you. Happily very successful author, and so most of my attention and time personally goes into my own books, and then my company is set up to be the support team for the author group. So we took down the submissions uh, box, and basically Mount Owl is invite only. So we see authors that we like we see them on Row Road, or they might like send us emails. But usually the answer, if someone reaches out to us, is, hey, let us know where we can see some of what you're working on. And then if we like what we see, then we'll invite them. And if they say yes, then they're in. And if they say no, then they're not. But yep, pretty much invite only at this point. So let's see. Um, yeah, a fantasy lab chair. Fantasy lab? Is that different from secret lab? It might be. Like I have no idea. So hopefully it is. Any authors that have narrated their own books? Um, Not in my company, and I can tell you why for sure. So, um, there is a huge tendency among authors to have kind of shiny object syndrome, world builder syndrome, whatever you want to call it, where uh, if you do the same thing enough, you kind of want to do more at the same time, but you don't really realize that you're doing the thing that you're really good at because you're really good at, and you kind of should keep doing it. So I really try to help people keep their focus on productivity, right? Like I don't personally go out and make merchandise. I don't personally go out and try and do a bunch of other things like start a podcast. I don't go out and try and make my own video game. I don't like go out there and get people together. And I don't know, man. Like there's so many options for things that we could do. But as authors, we kind of make our revenue in one way, man, and that is writing books and selling them, you know. And it's really hard to be a full-time author if you're not making full-time money, right? And so I happily pay premium prices for my narrators because I know that the work that they do is their focus, and they do a fantastic job at it. And I want to have that for my authors whose main focus should be generating content, writing books. And that's kind of the thing, man. If you work at it enough, if you write books, if you write a ton of books, you're hopefully going to get better at it. Like 90% of the time, you're not going to get worse at it by practicing more and more. And it's kind of the same with any career. If you put your time and attention into this, you'll grow that skill and get better at it. And if you divert your skills and your time into a bunch of different things, you might get okay at a bunch of things, but it's really hard to be phenomenal and fantastic at just one of them. So, I mean, really, really focus on that. And I think, I mean, Travis is amazing, but Travis actually started as far as I know, started. I don't know where he started, but he is actually a video game programmer. So if you ever played Fate or Torchlight back on the old computers, those were his games, man. So he actually started as a video game like programmer, designer, creator, and then was just so fantastic with that he was able to go on and do other things, and so he just started doing narration. But he came into writing lit RPG from like a legitimate video game creator. Like that's who he is, and he's literally got the voices like down, right? And so yeah, I mean, I am not at all shocked. And if Travis sees this, congrats on your recent success in winning the Hugo Award. That was really cool. So congrats, man. I mean, just phenomenal, dude. But in my company specifically, I really try to help people maintain their focus on the things that are actually making them successful. And for their portion of that, it is writing the books, and then everything else, marketing, advertising, whatever else, is coming through a separate part of the company, right? Whose task it is to do those things and get good at those things. So that's kind of where I am on that sort of thing. You're not really saving yourself money by doing it yourself, because the time cost to learn how to do it well, how many books could you have written by the time you have both skill sets built up? So that's just my personal opinion on it, but it is my recommendation. Let's see. Um, Scott says, what do you offer with movie, TV series, anime adaptations, as I see on your website? Dude, you've been on our website. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming. Please sign up for the newsletter. We have cool stuff all the time. Other than that, right now, that is definitely something we have in the works. And as it stands currently, I would say I have interest more than anything else. So like, man, even people that have movies optioned and things like that, um, until it's there, until you have something that you can watch, I'm not really gonna tell you much about it, because man, as anyone can tell you, as Geneva definitely could tell you, it is, until it is done, it doesn't matter if you have the deal. It doesn't matter if they've spent money on you. It doesn't, like, none of that matters until it's airing, right? And at that point, cool. So when I have something to tell you about, I'll definitely tell you about it though. um, yep. So Shinhoven says options can sit for years, never be touched. And Geneva says so true, it can be pulled at any second. So um it's in the works is all I can really say on that. And but yeah, neat stuff. Cool. What else you got? Oh, actually, I think my time is pretty much up. So I was about to like get into more stuff, but yeah, man. Hey, I'm basically just here to say, come and read cool books, and also to say a huge thank you to all of the amazing authors that have built this genre with a framework of books, and then thank you so much to all the readers that have come in and like climbed that framework and continuously read those books and make this career happen and possible. So I'm over here from, literally, I'm just using my takeover time to say thank you to everyone basically, and that's what I want to do. And I guess that's how I'm going to leave it. So thank you all, and um, have a great night. And then I think Geneva, I need to ask her to stop it, but and I'm at DragonCon every year in case you ever want to come and see me there. And then I'm at Vegas. I'm in Vegas every year in November. There's currently the conference is called 20 Books Vegas. That is actually changing next year, and it's going to be a much more reader focused event. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing people on the West Coast as well starting next year. So I'll see you all then. Bye, everyone.